this show opened up big star power. John Moxley, the CEO of Moxley Plumbing, and our friend Eddie Kingston out in the concourse somewhere because they have to walk into the arena to Wild Thing. Whereupon they walk into the arena for Wild Thing, and Moxley has been their guy in the past. So we're talking about one of the top 2 or 3 supposed single wrestlers in AEW. And 2.0 and Daniel Garcia attack them in the aisleway, not even at ringside. They didn't get that far, and just leave them laying there somewhere in the dark, not to be seen again. Daniel Garcia, I have never heard his name before 3 weeks ago, and now he's kicking the shit out of everybody. Can you imagine if MJF had this kind of push? We've seen more of Daniel Garcia in the past 3 weeks. MJF's been there for 2 fucking years.
Well,
or anybody.
2.0. They were unimpressive in NXT. They came in there. I was excited. Like, wow, these guys are actually doing good. Little did I know they'd be attacking the main babyface within weeks at the open of the show. It's puzzling the guys that do get to do what they get to do at times.
What they get to do.
Nothing against them, because I like these guys so far, but kind of puzzling.
A team that just got canned from the other company that was on their television and getting beat, and comes here, and before they won a match yet? Did they win their first match or whatever? Now they're jumping Moxley and Kingston, but it was 3-on-2. And then getting in the ring, and you're right about the chubby 2.0. He's great. He's trying to pitch this as hard. I didn't say he's great. He's trying as hard as he can to pitch it.
I like him.
He's enthusiastic. He's all in. But they get in the ring and they call out Sting and Darby Allin for their match. Moxley and Kingston are dead. They've disappeared.
Moxley's completely dead.
We'll get to him in a minute. But they don't. Instead, here blackout, and it starts snowing. And here comes Sting, walking in as he usually does. And then Darby jumps in from the rear with a skateboard, which he hits one of them with and then drops it. And then we have our Texas Tornado match. Now, I don't even know if they ever said, was this 2 against 3, 2.0 and Garcia against Sting and Darby Allin? Or was it supposed to be a tag match and Garcia's just freely interfering because it's Texas Tornado, which means no rules, which means lazy booking?
They never explicitly said it, but I figured either Kingston or Moxley were supposed to be the third guy in the match, but they never actually came out and said who it was going to be.
No. Kingston and Moxley were not even supposed to be in this match. When 2.0 and Daniel Garcia jumped them and beat them up and went to the ring, they said, we want our match with Sting and Darby Allin now. We're not going to wait.
So what were they going to do? What was Moxley and Kingston going to do?
We never found out. Completely different thing. Fortunately, they can react to these things on the fly. So immediately they start this match by fighting into the arena and through the fans. NewLawOffice.com, 888-692-8084. Tony Khan's a billionaire, and one of these guys is going to lose him a couple of $100 million sooner or later. They did sloppy fighting up the concourse, up the stairs to the concourse. And then they fought in a dark, empty, carpeted area of the arena that was sealed off from the fans with nothing even hanging on the walls. I guess they took the pictures down. They were afraid they were going to get them bloody or whatever. But it wasn't even lit. JR even said something about, I've heard of wrestling with shadows, but then after they'd done some stuff up there, everybody decided to pretend fight back down the stairs, all at the same time, into the arena. And they got there, and then Darby was the last one. He tiptoed down the rail and jumped 3 feet off the rail onto the heels, and the people popped, which is one of the most unimpressive things he's ever done. But I don't know what the fuck. Then Eddie Kingston showed back up. Usually Moxley won't stay down if you shove a hand grenade up his ass and pull the pin, but he just disappeared. But Moxley came back and jumped in. Kingston, rather, came back and jumped in and started fighting with somebody. But finally, they got ringside, and Darby Allin, the first thing they do when they get back to ringside, Darby Allin pulls out a table. And I wrote, God, this is rotten. They can't even just get back in the ring. Now they got to have a table. They double vertical suplexed Darby Allin on an upside-down skateboard laying on the ramp. So he took the bump spine first on the wheels on the concrete floor, or on the ramp, or whatever the ramp's made out of. He's not going to make it to 30. Then 2.0 sets the table up in the ring, and they gingerly, both of them, picked Sting up, walked him at a snail's pace across the ring, and set him down, powerbombed him through the table. Sting, 62 years old with a bad neck, and he's willing to take this bump. More power to him. They set him down nice and flat. They did it gingerly. And he broke the table, went through it, and then popped up, no-sold it, beat his chest, and double scorpion death dropped him.
Death lock. Oh, death drop. That's right. It was a death drop
double
first.
Scorpion death drop, right? On both of them, one on each side. And I was about to fast forward this because now Sting popping up and no-selling a goddamn table. I'm just done with this whole thing, but I didn't have time because he did then put the Scorpion Deathlock on both these guys at the same time, and they tapped out. So Darby did nothing. Sting beat both of them. But when you examine this chain of command here, this 2.0 and their friend beat the shit out of Moxley and Kingston and left them laying, and then turned around and both of them, I don't know what happened to Garcia, got beat by a 62-year-old man that didn't sell a powerbomb through the table. What'd you think?
I mean, the match itself is a bit of a train wreck. I really like 2.0, at least the bigger one, the one with, not the one that looks kind of like a French-Canadian Chuck Taylor. I haven't seen enough of him yet, but the other one exudes so much charisma. I like him. He's over the top and in a good way. The Sting stuff, I'm not terribly offended by the table spot just because everything there is stupid.
If he wanted to take the bump, why couldn't he sell it?
Because you know what? The pop was the no-sell and the beating of the chest. But
then why did he have to go through a table?
He didn't have to.
Exactly. Just powerbomb him and he can pop up and no-sell it and beat the chest. You get the same pop. You've just ruined the table again. Like, they've ruined everything in this whole show. Everything was the same.
Now, let me say, and it was here and it was throughout the whole show, extremely hot crowd in Houston.
Oh, yeah, they are eating this Elmer's glue up one side and down the other. But how long? 6 months from now, are they still going to be screaming and yelling for people going through tables when nobody ever even sells it anymore? What can they follow this shit with? How can they keep this up for any length of time? Constant chaos and violence with no repercussions and bumps with no meaning, and nobody knows even whose side who's on. You can't keep that up. It's ridiculous. They've got two of the biggest names in the business coming in. They should be slowing down, getting ready to fucking let them go instead of doing everything possible to be done before they even get there.